becomes Legos, bricks and toys.
All right, toy fans. So let's get more of this dinosaur built, because I really want to get this finished up, right? So that, turn it down a little bit there. There we go. And we are on bag 3. So another day, another set of bags, and we got 3. So there's 2 bags of 3. So there were 2 of 1, 2 of 2, 2 of 3. And today, I have a feeling what we are working on. Yeah, we're working on the tail. So it's like, there's our Godzilla sound. We're working on the tail, and we'll be working on the feet. So, no legs yet. He is defeated right now. Oh, hold on. Hello? Weird. Yeah. Robocalls, I'm guessing. Well, it was a local number, so I was thinking, hey, this might be important, right? They might actually have something they need to tell me. Apparently not. So, there we go. Now, right here, we've got a 2x3, a 2x2. Now, this is a 2x2 reversed, or kind of a reverse slope. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. I might need to bring this closer to my face. It's like everything is red and orange. Thankfully, this is not in shades of like blue and green, because I would struggle. Would absolutely struggle. I struggle with certain blue greens. Alright, so we're putting this here, and yeah, now we need a 2x4, and then a brick with a socket. Now, I will say these sockets are nice. They're fitted really nice. They feel tough, which is what we'd want, right? I said I did this wrong. It goes like that. There we go. Now this goes up here on top. This goes up on top of there. And now we need, looks like 1, 2, and then 2 1x2s, a 1x2 with ball jointing, and then a 2x3. So we're stacking 1, 2 underneath. So normally when they do this, they'll do like kind of 1 underneath, 1 on top, and 3 plates make 1 brick size. But with this one, we actually have it where we're putting it a little more up top and not necessarily on the bottom. And it's probably because we're adding more. So we need 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh my goodness. Now these are 1x2 by 2x2 brackets. And they're standard brackets. They're not inverted. These do not go down. They're actually up on top, which is cool. And now we need orange. So we got an orange 2x3. And then one of these, I call them like rooftops, but they're essentially a 2x2 double-sided cheese wedge or slanted wedge. This is going to go up on top here. This is going to go right here. Use these for roofs on little mailboxes as well. They make good roofs, okay? So we need 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now since these are orange, I'm gonna call them cheddar wedges. But they are your 1x1 wedge, also commonly referred to as a cheese wedge. We get kind of nerdy with our names, so. And I'm sure BrickLink has something else, some sort of whatever wedge, but we usually call them cheese wedges. when it was funny because when I put together the cheese house from Luma Bricks, and it was all the cheese is made out of those little wedges. It was just cracking me up. I absolutely loved it. That was a solid build, by the way. There's a part of me that feels I should pull that out of its box just to look at it, do some videos, and put it back up. Man, this is a really good build. Alright, so 1, 2, it's unfortunate. I haven't been able to afford any more of my Lumabrick sets here recently. They've gotten popular, which is good, but then the cost has also gotten up. And I just, like right now with space, money, etc. And you could say, well, save up and get it. Yeah, I could, but when it comes to priorities and builds and all this, it's like if I am going to get something cheap, like if I'm going to get several things for cheap or one thing that costs more, I'll get more enjoyment out of it, but then I might be left without builds for a while. So it's like, what do you do, you know? And I'm kind of waiting for them to put out some smaller sets that are more cost effective. I've gotten most of the smaller sets, but then there's like some things like the horse stable. I haven't gotten that. I probably could, but some of it also comes to a time of like placing. Like, where do I put all these? Like my cheese house has been broken down, put back in a box. Why? Because I don't have any room for it currently. My kid, so I built that specialty table. My kid, half of that table he uses, which is cool. But he doesn't have quite as much build. Mine overlaps a little bit, and I still hardly have, like, I've got all of mine kind of like shoehorn shoved together for my little Lego city. And if I was to utilize the whole tabletop, I would move some of this stuff out in there, but it's a lot. And here's the thing, when you are an avid collector / builder, you can't display everything. It just doesn't work that way. So that being said, I've got lots of things in boxes, and hopefully this summer my goal is to go through and clean this stuff, so maybe I can get a chance to kind of not downsize, but to how do I put it, not downsizing, it's more like I'm kind of restructuring where things go, so it makes like my building process, my display process, and all that a lot easier. But in time. First I gotta survive to the to the summer break. Let's see how that's going. It's been rather difficult. Alright, that's gonna go right up there. Okay, and then we've got one of these little roof pieces up here, and then we're going to be putting cheese wedges on 1 and 2, boom and boom, and then we've got 1 goes on this side, the other one goes on the other side, boom and boom. Now, it doesn't say to add anything just yet, but I'm going to go ahead. So we've got 119, which is this one, right? So 119 here. 126, which is here. So I'm going to snap that into there. I'm going to go ahead and start attaching these as I go, because I think that might make it easier on me. If it's like, well, which one's 119? I'm not going to know. Brain doesn't necessarily work that fancy like. So here we go. We got 2x2 on a 2x3 with a 1x2 with a socket. We've got, looks like 1x2, and then 4 of these 1x1 by 1 brackets, reverse brackets I should say, because they don't go up, they go up, not down. So we're going to use these reverse brackets. I know I've got one more right there. And then we've got let's see. Now we need, it looks like a hinged plate. Okay. It's surprising in that oh, there it is. I'm struggling to find parts and everything is here. But that's when you have a sea of red, a sea of orange. It's hard to see, like, what exactly am I building? Do I have all the pieces? Do I have all the parts? Alright, so another one of these roofs. And then 2 more cheese wedges. Boom. And boom. I like the texture that these things add. Okay, now we need 1 and 2 of these. And that should fit right onto there. Nice. Okay, not too bad. Now the last part is, that's the 131, so now we're on the 134, which should be the last section of this tail. And it looks like we need one of these, a 1x2, and then a 1x3. So we got, that goes here. This goes under here. And then we've got a propeller blade, and it looks like that is going into this last section right there. Okay. Okay, so we got that. And then we need this oblong cheese wedge. It goes 2 back right there. We have an orange plate and then an orange tile. And that's supposed to fit right on the back of there. So we got ourselves a posable, well, it's a posable tail, but this is hinged. So kind of makes me wonder why they didn't do a, instead of a bracketed hinge. I mean, I guess it would work, but it seems like that should have been a ball joint. Probably if I ever come across another ball joint, I would probably much rather just do a ball joint on there, because I don't, that hinge is a little off in my opinion. But go ahead and snap this down to there. Ooh, yeah, no, this is pretty large. Yeah, this is probably 18 or so inches. That is a large dinosaur. So here we go. Now we need lots of activity today. Okay, lots of activity. So we need 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we need 1, 2, see, 3 and 4 of these. And it looks like we are going 1, 2. We're making 2 of them. So we're working on the feet portion of this. 2. And then this should fit, I think, onto here. Yeah. Uh-oh. Sometimes I get like weird gunk in there. I don't know what it is. And it doesn't want to go away. So there we go. So working on 2 feet at this point. And then we need 1, 2 of these 2x2 rounds. And then 2 of these 1x2 plates with pin bars. It's going to go here. This goes right here. Right here. And this goes right here. Now we need. Oh, we got. Okay, so these are plates with double clips on it. 1x1 plate with a double clip. How many of those do we need? 2. 2 of those, and then 2 of these red cheese wedges. And that should go 1 here. And cheese wedge. 1 here. And cheese wedge. And then we've got our pieces here with claw. So that goes on the back 1. That should go right here. So I guess that's like a big, big, big claw. This goes right here. I'm going to turn the... Oh, wait. I got the wrong one. It's this one with the bar. I've got some that don't have the bar, some that do have the bar. That's a big claw. Look at that. Boom, boom. Okay. Now, we need 1, 2 1x3s. 1, 2 1x2s. And then 1, 2 of these round 1x1s with little bars on them. And we're going to be putting that there. This one here. That there. This one here. And then we've got 1 and 2. And I believe we're building 2 of these hinges. Okay. So I guess this is for toes, possibly. So maybe the toes are turning a certain way. So if we have this going this way, this should fit right onto here. We're doing that twice. Okay. And then we need 1, 2 of these 1x1s. And then 1, 2 of the cheese wedges. So that'll go here. And here. Go here. And here. And then now we are building up. So we need 2 of those, 2 of these clips, and 2 of these little claws. They're little dino claws. Oh man. Every time I hear claws, sometimes it makes me think of Santa too, which is absurd. I have a very absurd imagination. And I do tend to take things rather literal at times, and I've got to. It's like my understanding is I understand, that that's not what they mean because I've dealt with enough reality, but I do get some very, very interesting visuals in my head of what people say. And sometimes I find it absolutely hilarious. To a point that it is just downright absurd. Absolutely absurd. So 2, 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. So kind of like the other day, one of my coworkers was telling me it had been raining, okay, and the ground was slick. Alright, makes sense. And this coworker told me, hey, watch it right here. I nearly ate it. And I'm like, excuse me? It took me a minute because I started looking on the ground for whatever this person had been eating. And I had to kind of slow for a moment and go, okay, that's not what they are meaning. And it seriously, it took me a minute. I was like, oh, yes, you almost fell. I get it. Okay. And it seems ridiculous, but there are times, like if certain things are, and here's the thing, I use sarcasm and I use dad jokes. I love dad jokes. But it has to be. Sometimes I don't understand, and I have to kind of like, okay, I was in a meeting, they were doing tests on me, and they were talking about looking at gift horse in the mouth, and I didn't understand I guess why you would look a horse in the mouth. But it was after we had talked a minute, I understood there's historical reference in it of you. So apparently you look. I had to understand the historical reference. It was something that was beyond my understanding. But you have to look the horse. Okay, if you were given a horse, and the idea was is that you could look in the mouth of the horse to understand the horse's age. So, if you look a horse in its mouth and it's a gift, that apparently I think is being rude and not being accepting of the gift. I think that's how it went. I believe that's my understanding. So it took me a minute, but again, what I got out of it at first was historical reference, but I had to remember it's like, yeah, yes, it's a historical reference, but that's not the only part of it, So, yeah, man, I struggle. I struggle a lot. Okay, this one is getting this foot apparently. Oh, they both get the same thing. Okay, so let's find our other two cheese wedges, 1 and 2. Thankfully, because one of the pictures has the feet looking different from one to the other, but thankfully they are all the exact same creation, which I like. It's very uniform in that, and that for me that works. Okay, so I'm gonna put that here. Now that toe can go up that way. There's a lot of articulation in this, which I find interesting, because normally you don't want too much articulation with a build, but you've got the toes, you've got the claws, you've got this claw, I guess. So there is some good articulation in this, and then of course you've got the ball socket there, which I like, right? It's a good build. Okay. Excellent. That's really cool. All right, so at this point we've got a few leftover. I think I have my other leftover pieces up here. I went looking to see if I could find another one of those slopes. Haven't found the one I lost yet, but I'll keep an eye out on it. I will say there are some leftover pieces here and there, which is good. It's not too bad. I don't have any open studs necessarily that things would go on, so I'm not too concerned about it. A couple here, but other than that, that's about it. I like the noise. I really do. And what if I'm going to do something different here. I'm going to take these. I'm going to go 1 and 2. Now, these are these quarter tiles there. I'm going to put them right on the end and create a little bit of some texture on the end to cover those last little bit of studs. What do you think about that? Yeah. Looks good. Rarg. 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 Of course, I take the whole arm off. Clutch issues up here with this. These tend, like, if you're gonna grab them and move them, you really want to like grab the whole unit and do it like that. But I really like this. Let's do it one more time. And then of course, if you press again, it'll turn off. I like this. This is pretty cool. This has been a great $20. So we'll come back tomorrow We'll finish up the legs, and that should finish the build completely, which is great. And this is what we want. We want to be able to sit here, put this together, and enjoy what we got. I might only do maybe one of the orange, maybe one red. I'm not sure yet, but I'm enjoying this. We do have some extra claws, extra sets of teeth, and a few extra tiles, including the little gray rose stud. So if I don't use it in this build, I can definitely use it in other builds and other things down the road, which we like, right? Hey, if you're liking what I'm making and you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe, right? Hit that bell for notifications to be alerted anything comes from me to you. Comment down below what's been your favorite part of this build. I am really liking this dinosaur quite a bit, though I do think over time I might look at seeing if I can't change this out. And the reason why it might be hinged, though, come to think of it, is I don't know if they do a ball socket that has the socket on the end and not the ball in a 1x2 that's vertical. So I don't know, but yeah, this is a fun build, well worth the $20. I'm glad I got it. Now I did get my AliExpress Mecha Team Leader. It is massive, so at some point we'll start putting that together as well. And of course on Saturdays we are doing and I'm only going for a little bit of time because of my hands recently, but and other things going on, but we are finishing up the Mold King Creative F1 Racer. So be sure to hit me up on Saturdays at 11, and I'll be pulling builds. Might even do like just a sort day one day where I'm sorting through bricks and we're talking about bricks while we're online. So if you like that sort of stuff, be sure to hit my lives. I love chatting with you all, so definitely come by, say something there. If like this video, helps YouTube know that you're liking what I'm making. Comment down below, and yeah, if you want to support the channel more, go over to the bio, go to the links in my link tree, get something out of the shop. I hit up the Lumabricks page, get something from Lumabricks. I get small commissions. Those little commissions that add up over time, and maybe one day I can get a set that I can review, and that's kind of a thank you to you all, and it helps me keep the expenses kind of low, even use it for equipment, things that I might need. Okay, hey, I thank you all so much. I love you all. Jesus loves you more. There's nothing you can do about it. Good luck with the build, and happy brick hunting.